Welcome back to Big Nick Energy YouTube channel. Mill here with another post game for the Knicks. Today is a win. The Knicks beat the Bulls 116 to 100. Great second half by the Knicks there. That's really what made us win this game. That second half effort, the amount of points they put up, the defensive effort in that second half, and we have a lot to talk about. I mean, between the first half and second half, completely different ball games. The first half, it looked like the Knicks were going to lose this one, just the way they were playing. The Chicago Bulls had like a 10-point lead against us in that first half, and we were turning over the ball just way too much. But the second half was a different story. Knicks came out of that locker room prepared. They were ready, and they set the tone in that second half. A lot of players stepped up for us, including Julius Randle, Jaylen Brunson. So yeah, those mainly they were reasons why we won this game tonight. Randle, let's see, I believe he had 31 in total. Oh, Randle had 35 points, and he also had 2 steals, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Randle's been on beast mode, really. He really has been. The last 20 games or so, he's been averaging at least 27 to 28 points per game, around 10 rebounds per game as well, and he's just been on full beast mode, bullying everyone in this league. And I was thinking about it before I started the stream. It's so unfortunate that Randle started off this season so terrible. We all know the first 10 games was an awful stretch for him, especially shooting percentages from the field, from the three-point line. We know the first 10 games. We don't want to talk about it anymore, but they were awful, and it really hurt his averages now because his official average on the season is 24 points per game, but recently he's been averaging like 28 per game for the last 20 game stretch. It should definitely be higher, and he could be an MVP candidate if he started off the season better and if he actually played better like defense, because obviously what he's doing on the offensive end is amazing, but he's not a huge or big time defensive player. Can't really stop the ball like that, or lockdown players. He tries his best, but this season he's specializing more on his offensive skills, and we saw it all tonight. 35 points from him. A lot of it was bully ball, always getting to the basket from him. I love it when he bullies an entire team. It's great to see. And also Jaylen Brunson had a huge game. 31 points for him. 13 for 22 from the field, 4 for 9 from the three-point line, and he also had 13 assists, which is crazy because last game he had a team high, I believe it was 14 assists, and tonight he had 13. So those are 2 consecutive games where he's had 13 plus assists right there, and we don't usually see Jaylen Brunson have that many assists. It's a little rare to see him have a 10 plus assist game, but 2 games in a row now he's done it, and that just goes to show that he can develop his game more. A lot of people like to say he's a selfish point guard, or like to say he's a shoot first type of point guard, which is true. He likes to shoot a lot, and he will shoot the ball a majority of the time, but he can also pass the ball. He's a point guard, and like we saw tonight, he has 13 assists. Last game we saw it as well. He can pass the ball, and as long as his teammates can make the shot, he's going to get those assists for sure. Besides that, though, and also he had 4 threes. I know the last few games he's been struggling from the three-point line. Literally 1 for 9 the other day. I think he's got his three-point shot back. So 4 out of 9 tonight from him. Like to see that. I was really concerned about it just because 1 for 9 is not the type of numbers you want to be seeing from your star player, but he's definitely improved that from the last time. And DiVincenzo, let's look through the rest of the starters tonight. OG, his second game as a Knick, played 34 minutes. He was 5 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from the three-point line. Only made 1 3, but that's okay. We got the win. And he had 11 points. But along with those 11 points, he had 2 steals, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. I mean, solid game by him, good game by him. I was impressed by what I saw once again. He brings that defensive effort, and he can also score the ball. Only 11 points tonight. He had 17 his debut, But I also feel like he didn't really get too many touches tonight. There was a lot of iso ball going on, but I definitely expect more touches from him in the future. Future games, I want him to be shooting the ball more because he even said it himself. He wants more of an offensive role from whichever team. He said this when he was on the Raptors, but now he's on the Knicks, so the Knicks have to give him more of an offensive role and more looks. So definitely expecting more points from him in the future and more shots. But Hartenstein also had a huge game. He is literally the GOAT. I tweeted that on X, but he is the GOAT. I mean, look at this. He had 20 rebounds and 10 points, but 20 rebounds is crazy. I mean, that's so many. And for losing Mitchell Robinson, we got a great backup. We really did. Hartenstein is probably the best backup we probably could have gotten, and we got him instantly because he was on the team and he was the backup center. So it's not like we had to trade for anyone. We didn't have to trade for another center. We didn't have to do any of that. He was our backup, and now he's a starting center, and he's truly been great. I mean, you can't ask for really anything more from him than what he's doing, since Robinson went down. But he had 7 offensive rebounds tonight, and that's really a specialty right there. Mitchell Robinson was like the king of offensive rebounds before he got hurt, and I think he was literally leading the league in offensive boards. Hartenstein might do the same because he had 7 tonight, and that's crazy, but it's super helpful for the Knicks, always giving us second chance opportunities. We need those because there's times where we're not going to hit the initial shot, but once we get that second chance, there's always a bigger, more chance we could hit it the second time. Isaiah Hartenstein commented himself, Hartenstein stepping up big time. I know that's a fan account, but yeah, Hartenstein truly stepped up big time. Like, I was just talking about it. Nothing more you could ask from your really backup center that is now your full-time starting center. He's fulfilling his job. He's doing the best he could replacing Mitchell Robinson, and you really can't ask for anything else. I'm super pleased by his performances the last few games. And a 20-point rebound game. I mean, those are like Tyson Chandler stats right there. Tyson Chandler always used to grab like 20 boards a game, and now we're seeing it from Hartenstein. It's crazy. I'm not even sure if Mitchell Robinson has a 20 rebound game. I have to look that up after this, but great stuff by Hartenstein. TSE said OG being on the court makes it easier for JB and Randle to do their thing. Yeah, it's very true. He definitely spaces the floor a lot better. And like you said it, Randle and JB can do their thing now. I think having RJ in that lineup before, the spacing was questionable at times. It was a little awkward having RJ there. I mean, RJ is not the type of guy you just stick in the corner. He wants to shoot the ball. He can also get to the basket. So at times he would be in the mix of Julius Randle and Brunson, and it just wouldn't fit. But now we have OG, who is usually going to be in the corner because, he is a 3-point shooter, and he's also going to be under the basket when we're shooting the ball, trying to get those offensive rebounds, trying to, even get a slam dunk if the Knicks catch him down low. So I really like the spacing we're seeing now that he's on the Knicks, and clearly Jaylen Brunson and Randle have been able to do their thing. 35 points from Randle tonight and 31 points from Brunson. It's great stuff we're seeing. It's only game 2, I know, that OG's been a Knick, but I love what I'm seeing so far. I'm trying to look at some Instagram comments on here as well. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Twitter, YouTube, everything. But overall, if you guys are watching from Instagram and Twitter, I hope you guys end up going to our YouTube channel and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and it helps Big Knick Energy on YouTube. But I appreciate everyone that's watching on Instagram and Twitter. Let's see this comment. Superstar said, DeMar, we know you want to come to New York, but we good over here. That's actually really funny that you mentioned that, because I was thinking the exact same thing. DeMar DeRozan put on a show tonight. I mean, he even hit three three-pointers, and I think that's really rare for DeRozan. He doesn't even average 1 made 3 per game on the season. He averages 0.9 made threes per game. So it's not even 1. The fact that he hit 3 tonight, I mean, I definitely think he was trying to show Leon Rose something. Leon Rose was in attendance. So DeMar was trying to be a little slick and put up some 3-pointers, showing Leon Rose, he can be a 3-point shooter because we know the Knicks love 3-point shooters. The last few guys they've signed have all been 3-point shooters between, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. Now we got OG, who can shoot the 3. But unfortunately, they ended up losing. And no, we're good over here, DeMar. I'm sorry, we're good. I know he was interested in the Knicks. He wanted to come here. He probably still does, but I think we're good over here. Another comment said, iHeart is going to get a major bag in the offseason. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. And I'm just afraid we're gonna lose another player because of how good he is, and he's showcasing how great of a center he is in this league. He shouldn't be a backup, honestly. He could be a starter in this league. So he's going to get the bag this summer from a team. Hopefully it's us, just because I love the way he's been playing. I think he fits so well with our starting unit too. He's a great passer. You guys know that. He's really underrated at passing. And I think it really helps our unit. I mean, Mitch is a different center on a whole different level. But there's different parts of Hartenstein's game that I really enjoy watching, and it really helps the Knicks. Quinn said, loving quickly for us, bringing so much energy to our fan base. Love RJ because he's Canadian. Okay, well, I'm not really sure what we're talking about quickly and RJ. If you're a Raptors fan, I get it, but we have to move on from them. We're only going to be talking about the Knicks here. I mean, kudos to them, though. I believe that they won their first game as a Raptor, and I think they played tonight, too. I think they got the win. I saw Quickly had a huge game. Kudos to them, but we're sticking to the Knicks now. We're going to be talking about OG, so yeah. Jonathan said, maybe we can still go further with OG after all. Definitely, we could. OG brings a lot to the table that a lot of people didn't see initially, including me. I definitely overreacted to the trade news when it happened. And just seeing the fact that we lost Emmanuel Quickly really hurt. But, looking at it overall, OG is kind of the perfect fit for us. And he brings defense, which we so badly needed. We needed a wing that could defend, and especially defend good players every night. We were having before last season, we were having Quentin Grimes guard the best player on the opposing team every night. Not guys obviously not forwards or centers, but OG can literally guard centers and forwards. He's 6'8", I think, but he has a 7'2" wingspan. He has a huge wingspan, so that's why he's able to guard basically every position. So that's super helpful, knowing that when we go against guys like Giannis or Joel Embiid or literally any huge power forward, that we have someone that could guard them. And he was on the second All-NBA defensive team last season. He has accolades to back up his defensive skills. He clearly can do it. Okay, yeah. Okay, Quinn, I get it now. What you mentioned earlier about IQ and RJ. I definitely agree. Pretty good trade both ways, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree as well. I think that this was a good fit for us, having OG, and it made sense because the Knicks were not going to pay IQ in the offseason, and RJ just unfortunately didn't fit with this Knicks team anymore. There's a lot of reasons that go between that, but it was a good thing for both teams. RJ and IQ can go on the Raptors now and succeed how they want, shine. I know IQ is gonna shine. He's gonna become a star. That's his team now. Jonathan said Hart has to work on his game. Yeah, his offensive game, he can work on a little bit, but I think what we're getting from him is really solid, and it's really great. I mean, 20 rebounds, which includes 7 offensive, and he did put up 10 points. So, that's pretty much a good effort from your starting center. And yeah, you said he's awesome, and he got 10 points. Exactly. And let's see. Quinn. Oh, yeah. So you're a Raptors fan, was just asking how you feel about the trade. Talked about OG before. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I figured you were a Raptors fan. Overall, I was upset about the trade at first, but I think that it really benefited the Knicks. The Knicks needed OG, and I I hope that the other players we got, like Precious, can be a key piece for us off the bench. I mean, we haven't really seen it so far. It's only been 2 games, but I do think Precious can have more of a role off the bench. And he does average 7 points per game. I mean, you know him obviously better than me because you're a Raptors fan, but I'm expecting a little bit more from him. Hopefully, he can, because we lost a lot losing quickly. Our bench is going to struggle without him. He provides 15 points per game, some nights 20 points per game. I mean, 20 a night. So it's a lot to make up for. And the guys that we have on the bench, Hart, Grimes, Precious now, they need to step up and make up for it. Someone said if iHeart keeps this up, we can package with picks for Embiid, Grimes, Fournier, and Mitch. Well, I don't know about that because I don't know if Embiid's on our radar right now just because he's doing really well on the Sixers right now. I mean, trades happen, but he's not really on the radar right now. I know that DeJounte Murray is on the radar, possibly Donovan Mitchell, but Embiid is a little bit of a stretch. Jonathan said, I was referring to Josh Hart, LOL. He has to... Oh, you were talking about Josh Hart. Oh, I saw Hart, and I for some reason, I just thought of Hartenstein. But yeah, you're right. He definitely has to work on his game more. I mean, last season, Hart was amazing for us. The second half of that season that he came to the Knicks, and he was literally shooting so well from the three-point line and from the field that second half of the season. But he's been a little disappointing, I would say, this season. We haven't seen much. You know, that he'll have a few games where it's like the Josh Hart from last season, 10 points, 10 rebounds, like 5 assists or a little bit more than that. But some nights he rarely scores. He'll score like 3 points or 5 points. I definitely want him to score more, and we need him to. With Quickly gone now, we need guys to step up, whether that be Grimes or Hart. They need to take more shots, and they need to make their threes when they do get the ball. Let's look at if there's any more comments on Instagram. Bomb Kid said, no more waiting till 2023 for Barrett to be consistent. Oh, 2033. Yeah, you saw my video. I feel so bad I made that video. I did a little skit about RJ and how we'd like it'd be 2033 and we'd still be saying like he's gonna break out and just give him time. But then the literally the next day he got traded. But yeah, you're right. We're not gonna have to focus on that anymore. We don't have to pay attention to it. He's on the Raptors. I mean, you can watch silently, but I only care for the New York Knicks, so I'll be focusing on the Knicks. But back to talking about the game. It was a great second half by the Knicks. Really enjoyed watching that effort. And it's simple as, I say it like every game. It's simple as that. Defense leads to offense. Defense leads to wins. So every time we play defense, it just makes it easier on the offensive end. We can get easy buckets. I mean, even when we force a turnover, we get a steal. We could get the fast break points. It's as easy as that. And those points can add up, and they could really help you win the game. But I was talking about the starters. I think I got through everyone between Randle, OG, Hartenstein, Brunson. I think I talked about DiVincenzo, but if I didn't, he had 11 points tonight. He was 4 for 10 from the field, 3 for 8 from the three-point line. Solid game from him, putting up 11 points and 3-pointers, and along with 5 assists, which is pretty impressive. You're getting from your shooting guard right there, and 5 rebounds, along with 1 steal. So that's a pretty solid game by DiVincenzo right there. Looking at the bench, Precious Achiuwa, he played 11 minutes. He had 4 points, 2 for 2 from the field. I like what I saw from him. You know, he didn't play much, only 11 minutes, but I liked what I saw because he got 2 offensive rebounds. The 4 points he had were just from 2 offensive rebounds. I love watching guys pick up offensive rebounds because it's really helpful, and it gets us those second chance points. So good, solid game by him from the 11 minutes he was given. Definitely think he should be playing a little bit more just so we can see what he has to offer, because he averages 7 points per game, and I'm curious to see if he has a little bit more to his game despite just putting up offensive boards back up. Let's see, McBride in 10 minutes, he had 3 points. He's not getting played a lot because Jaylen Brunson is playing, nearly the entire game. Last game he played like 40 plus minutes. This game he played 38. So McBride only got 10 minutes as our backup point guard, but he had 3 points and was 1 for 3 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3-point line. Grimes, though, had 18 minutes and he only put up 8 points, 3 for 9 from the field, made 2 threes. Definitely need him to be more aggressive and make more threes. And I really like it when he drives to the basket. He's such an underrated driver at going to the basket. I've seen him do it multiple times in an aggressive way, and he can do it. So definitely need him to step up a little bit more. We didn't really get that many points from the bench. I mean, I'm looking here. Ochoa had 4. McBride had 3. Josh Hart had 3, and Grimes had 8. So Grimes had the most, 8 right there, but need more scoring off the bench, truly. And, this was the Bulls. The Bulls aren't a great team. So when we go against great teams that have better benches than us, we'll really need to have better scoring off the bench. Oh, DeMario said, "Hey, you're doing great with the Knicks podcast. Keep it up. Great win and go Knicks." I really appreciate it, DeMario. I appreciate you for tuning in and commenting, letting me know that. I'm trying my best. I mean, we're just talking Knicks here. It's not that hard, but I really do enjoy talking about these games with you guys and hearing your thoughts, especially after we just changed our team. We just made a huge change. I'm always interested in hearing what you guys have to say with this new team with OG. I know a lot of fans were split about that decision, but from now on, we just all have to stick together as a fan base and move forward with OG. Don't have any resentment against him because your favorite player got traded. I know it sucks, but he's really providing something to the table, and we have to support it. Jonathan said Knicks future contenders, and he also said McBride has to be consistent. He didn't get extended for nothing. Yeah, Grimes isn't getting a lot. Sorry, not Grimes. McBride isn't getting a lot of minutes though. He's literally getting like 10 minutes a game now, ever since we lost Emmanuel quickly. But I definitely think he needs to show something if he does want to get more minutes. You're right. He didn't get extended for nothing. If he's going to be our backup point guard, he needs to show more. He needs to show that he can actually be, in the rotation for us, be a rotation player, especially as a backup point guard. Bomb Kid said, "I'm a diehard Knick fan," and she's so pretty too. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. DeMario said, "What do you think about Tibs and how he's got OG playing so many minutes in only 2 games?" Yeah, he's been playing a lot. Let's see how many games he played tonight. OG played 34 minutes. I mean, that's the duty of a starter, though. You have to play those minutes. He's going to be playing 30 plus minutes for the rest of the season, being the starter. And I really think we need him out there because he's a great defensive player, and having him out there, it's just better for the team. He provides great spacing. He can run the floor on a fast break. There's multiple upsides, positives to his game. Having him out there playing this many minutes, I'm here for it. I don't think he should be playing any less. We need him to be playing these big minutes, and Bomb Kid just said it. OG is going to play big minutes, Tibbs type of guy. You're right. We might even see him play a full game at some point. Sometimes you need a guy like OG to stay on the floor the entire time, especially when we play guys like other great teams with players that are unguardable. He's going to be the one to guard them, and he's going to be the one that has to lock them up because we didn't really have a defender on the Knicks that could do that before, and now OG will be that guy. So he's got to play big minutes, exactly as you said. Pretty much went through the starters and the bench, though. I mentioned it earlier, DeRozan did have a huge game, 28 points for him, along with Coby White, 26 points, and he somehow had 6 threes. I was looking it up before I started the stream. He only averages like around, I would say, almost 3 made threes per game, and he made 6 tonight. Something about MSG, right? I mean, these guys are always able to just score more here and shoot better from the 3-point line. I mean, even DeRozan had 3 threes, and that's rare. I know it's only 3, but it's rare. He doesn't average 1 per game, so for him to have 3, something about MSG. I felt like the Bulls couldn't miss at all from the 3-point line in the first half, and even a little bit of the second half, they were making a lot of threes. That's pretty much what gave them the lead in that first half, because we were turning the ball over so many times, and basically every possession of the Bulls was a 3-pointer, so that's how they developed their lead. They got ahead. In total, let's check how many threes we had, how many turnovers we had. Hopefully it's not over more than 20. I know we limited it in the second half. There wasn't as many. It says we had 16 total turnovers. I'm glad it's just not over 20, because with the way we were turning the ball over in the first quarter alone, we were headed towards 20 by the end of the game. So I'm really glad we didn't hit 20. We limited it in the last 2 quarters, but it was scary watching the Knicks turn over the ball that much in the first half. I mean, some of it was just, I didn't even get it. The passes were awful. It wasn't like the defense was forcing the turnover. A majority of the turnovers were bad passes. I definitely think it might have to do with chemistry. Adding OG in this team, it changes up the chemistry a little bit. These guys aren't used to playing with him, and it might shake up things a little bit here and there. But the way the passes were awful in that first half. I mean, did you guys see the Josh Hart one? Josh Hart literally threw it to, like, I don't even know, like the 10th row in the stands. I had no idea where that pass was going. DeMar said, agreed. Hopefully they make a bench strengthening move by the deadline. Brogdon would be fantastic. Oh yeah, I've seen Malcolm Brogdon be mentioned a lot surrounding the Knicks trade rumors. And I honestly think we need someone like him. Maybe not necessarily him, but he's a good option to think about, because losing quickly really, really hurts. And he is basically someone that could literally replace quickly. I mean, they were head-to-head in the Sixth Man of the Year awards last season. He eventually won, but he is a great sixth man. This season, he's averaging 16 points per game, 5.7 assists, 3.6 rebounds. He would be a direct replacement to Quickly. Someone said, do you think the Knicks can contend for a championship with Randle? If Randle literally plays how he's been playing the last 15 games, we could contend for a championship. I mean, Randle's been insane. He's been averaging, in the last, I would say, 20 games, he's been averaging 28 points, 10 rebounds, probably 5 assists. But those are crazy numbers right there. I mean, those are big numbers. And we obviously know that Randle has had some bad playoff experiences being on the Knicks. The first one, 2021, was just awful. The most recent one, 2023, he did get hurt. He injured his ankle and ended up having to do ankle surgery after the entire playoffs. But he hasn't had good experience. He hasn't showed up really. So if Randle could literally play how he's been playing, then the Knicks can contend for a championship. But, it all depends on how he plays. Jonathan said, for all the Knicks haters, we will not stay down. We're still on the raise to another level very shortly. Yeah, you're right. I still think that there is another move to be made. And I do think another move is coming. Someone mentioned this to me a few days ago, that the OG trade was not the move. It was one of the moves, but it's not the main one that we're waiting for. There's something else coming, whether that be Murray or Donovan Mitchell. Something else could be coming because I really think Leon Rose in the front office, they're serious about contending for a championship. They're serious about it. They see Jaylen Brunson, they see Julius Randle, and they want to support them with the best supporting cast they could to win a chip. I mean, those two guys, they've been playing phenomenal this season. They're playing great. They're going to be headed to an All-Star season, maybe an All-NBA team. But with the way those two guys have been playing recently, you have to support them. You have to surround them with other guys that make winning easy and make a championship possible. Let's see. Knicks in 3. That's all I'm going to say, Nipsey said. Knicks in 3? Who are we talking about, though? What team are we playing? Looking at some other team stats over here. I didn't really get to go through all of them, though. The Knicks shot, let's see. So they made 15 threes, which is pretty good. That's pretty good on 39%. Bulls, I'm surprised, hit less than us. Majority of their threes came from the first half, obviously, but they kind of quieted. They got silence a little bit in that second half. Rebounds there's a big disparity between both teams on rebounds. The Bulls grabbed 39, the Knicks grabbed 52, and a huge part of that is because of Hartenstein. He grabbed literally 20 boards alone just for him. So huge disparity there, and it's because we have good rebounding now. Offensive boards, yeah, Knicks had more. Assists, the Knicks also had more. Blocks, it was even between both teams. I'm actually curious. I think Hartenstein had a few because he was swatting those a lot. I actually have to check how many blocks he had. He had a great game. I didn't even mention his blocks when I was talking about him. I was talking about his 20 rebounds, but I didn't mention his blocks. I know he has a few. I was watching it live. A lot of possessions where he was swatting it away. And points in the paint, the Knicks had 54. Yeah, Knicks had a lot more points in the paint compared to the Bulls' 36. I mean, we have a lot of guys that like to attack the paint, whether that be Jaylen Brunson. When he gets to the paint, he does a little floater, or Julius Randle, who gets to the paint by bullying himself in there, and he manhandles everyone. So he gets there, and he puts it up. He's a straight-up bully. And so it says the Knicks had the largest lead at some point. The Knicks had 17, and the Bulls had 10. Great game by I would say great second half by the Knicks. I don't want to say necessarily great game because it's hard to say that when they didn't show up in the first half and they played awful in the first half. But it was a great effort by them in the second half that made them win this game. And our star players showed up tonight. I'll mention it one more time. Julius Randle had 35 tonight, and Jaylen Brunson had 31. The supporting cast, OG Anunoby had 11. Hartenstein had 10, and now I can see his blocks. Let's see. Hartenstein had 5 blocks. Whoa. I don't know how I completely missed over that when I was speaking about him, but 5 blocks is insane. He is going to get paid this summer. He really is. And the other part of the supporting cast, DiVincenzo, had 11 points. The bench, I think the bench needs work. It does, because most of the starters, they played nearly the entire game. The bench did not put up a lot of points. Grimes was the leading scorer off the bench with 8. We need them to step up, though. That's one of the things I'm most concerned about is our bench. You can clearly tell we need another scorer out there, another creator. And when we play really good teams, I think that's going to show. Teams with better benches than us. I'm scared to see how that's going to end up, but hopefully over time, guys like Grimes or Josh Hart can step up, both of them together, and provide what Emmanuel Quickley used to do. But without further ado, we'll begin to wrap up this post-game show. And I also want to mention that the Knicks are 19-15 now, and they're 7th in the Eastern Conference. So they're only one game back from being the 4th seed. It's really close in the East right now. The Heat, the Magic, the Pacers are all in front of the Knicks, and they all have the same amount of wins. So they all have 19 wins. But it's really close. Like, we could literally be the 4th seed. But we'll get there. And let's see. The next time the Knicks play will be Friday. And it'll be at Philadelphia. Big assignment coming up. Joel Embiid. He's back from injury. Huge assignment coming up. So it'll be at 7:30 p.m. I'll see you guys Friday after the game. Have a good night, guys.